There are things I said to my family that I can never take back, and they changed things in ways I didn't expect. Listen carefully because some truths feel like honesty but actually destroy the very peace you are trying to protect. I am 84 years old, and over the last decade I have watched two kinds of families. Some stay close right up until the end, sitting in hospital rooms together, calling on Sundays for no reason at all, arguing sometimes but never truly losing each other. Others quietly fall apart, not from one dramatic betrayal, from small, honest sentences said at the wrong moment that nobody could ever fully take back. My name is Harold. I am 84 years old. My heart is running at 38%. And today I want to share 6 things I have learned, sometimes the hard way, that you should never tell your family if you want peace in your final years. This is not about lying to the people you love. It is about understanding that some truths are not gifts. They are weights. And once you hand someone a weight, they carry it forever, whether they wanted it or not. Before we continue, if keeping peace with your family matters to you, please like this video, because most people only learn these lessons after the damage is already done. Let's begin with the first thing. Never tell your children which one of them you trust more. I learned this the hard way with my own 3, David, Claire, and Thomas. For years I made small comments, asking David to handle the finances because he was good with numbers, calling Claire when something needed careful judgment. It felt harmless at the time. Then one Thanksgiving, Thomas said something quietly while we were doing dishes. He said, "I know I'm the one you call when you just need company, Dad, not when you need someone reliable." That sentence stayed with me for years. I had never told him directly that I trusted him less. I never had to. My patterns told him everything. If you have a favorite, in any sense, in any moment, protect that thought carefully. Once spoken, it cannot be unheard, and your children will rank themselves against each other for the rest of their lives based on words you may not even remember saying. Here is the second thing. Never tell your spouse every regret you carry about your marriage. This sounds wrong to say, I know. We are told honesty is always the answer. But complete honesty, delivered without thought for timing or purpose, is sometimes just cruelty wearing the mask of integrity. I have a friend, I will call him Nathan, who told his wife of 40 years during an argument about something small that he had once seriously considered leaving her in their 12th year of marriage. It was true. It had happened decades earlier and resolved itself completely. She never fully recovered from hearing it. Not because the fact itself was unbearable, but because he chose to hand her that weight during an argument about dishes, with no context, no healing conversation to follow. Some truths belong in therapy, in careful private conversation, chosen deliberately, not unleashed during conflict as ammunition. If you are still here, please subscribe, because the next few things may matter even more than these first 2. Here is the third thing. Never tell your family exactly how much money you have, or do not have. I understand the instinct toward transparency here too, but I have watched specific dollar figures change how families treat each other in ways that have nothing to do with love. A woman I knew, I will call her Carol, told her 3 adult children the exact number in her retirement account during what she thought was an innocent conversation about estate planning. Within a year, the dynamic between her children had shifted entirely. Conversations that used to be about her health became conversations laced with subtle calculations about inheritance. She told me later, with real sadness, that she wished she had simply said, "You will all be taken care of," and left the actual number unspoken until it truly mattered. Numbers change how people see you and each other. Protect them until protecting them no longer serves anyone. Here is the fourth thing. Never tell your grown children what you really think of their life choices, their career, their spouse, their parenting, their finances. You may be right. You may even be more right than they will ever admit. It rarely matters. My son David called me once, frustrated about a business decision he had made that I privately believed was a mistake. I told him exactly what I thought, in detail, with the confidence of a man who had built and lost businesses himself. He thanked me politely. He called less often after that. Months later, he admitted that what he had needed that day was not my assessment. He needed to hear that I trusted him to figure it out, even if I disagreed. Your grown children do not need your verdict. They need your presence. There is a difference, and most of us learn it far too late. If you have made it this far, please subscribe and turn on notifications, because the fifth thing may be the one that changes how you see every conversation you have left with the people you love. Here is the fifth thing. Never tell your family how afraid you actually are of dying. This one surprised me when I first understood it. We assume vulnerability always brings people closer. Sometimes it does. But constant expressions of fear about death, repeated again and again, can quietly transform you, in your family's eyes, from someone they love into someone they are managing. I made this mistake myself in the year after my own health scare. Every visit became an opportunity to discuss my mortality. My daughter eventually told me, gently but honestly, that she had started dreading our phone calls, not because she did not love me, but because every conversation felt heavier than the last. There is a difference between being honest about your fear and making your fear the center of every interaction. Share it once, deeply, with someone who can hold it. Then let your remaining time together be about living, not about the ending. Here is the sixth and final thing. Never tell your family that you have no regrets. This last one is different from the others. This is not a warning. This is a confession. For years, I told my children I had no regrets, that everything had happened exactly as it should have, that I would not change a single decision. I believed I was protecting them from worry. I believed strength meant certainty. It was a lie, and somewhere inside, they always knew it. My daughter told me once quietly, "Dad, you don't have to pretend everything was perfect. We just want to know you." That sentence broke something open in me that I am still working through even now. Pretending to have no regrets does not give your family peace. It gives them a closed door. And closed doors, no matter how kindly intended, teach the people on the other side that there are parts of you they will never be allowed to reach. So here is what I actually believe, after 84 years of getting most of this wrong before I understood any of it. Protect your family from the weights that serve no purpose except honesty for its own sake. The favoritism, the old regrets about your marriage, the exact numbers, the unsolicited verdicts on their choices, the constant fear of dying. But do not protect them from the truth that you are human, that you carry things, that you do not have it all figured out even now. That is not a weight. That is a door left open. And an open door is the only kind of peace that actually lasts. One more thing before I let you go. I want to be honest about why I made this video at all. It would have been easier to make another video about things you should say to your family. Gratitude, love, forgiveness, all the warm advice that fits neatly into a thumbnail. But I have lived long enough now to know that protecting peace sometimes requires restraint, not just openness. Both matter. Today I wanted to talk about the restraint because almost nobody does, and I have paid for not understanding it sooner than I would like to admit. Now tell me in the comments, which of these 6 have you struggled with the most? I read every single comment, and I would really like to know. I am Harold, and there is more to say. I will say it.